Alright, and leaving Cedar Rapids, Iowa, this is what we got. Go with the Bwca up there, strapped down with about 12 different points of contact. Everything's all protected up. Let's get it. 9 hours to go.
As you can see here, here's the plan for the trip. We're going to be putting in at entry point 24, which is just north of Ely, Minnesota. 2 portages, and then we're on a pretty much straight shot all the way up to Lewis Narrows. As you can see, our blue line doesn't make it up there. Keep watching to find out why.
Quick start stop number 1. Yaks are looking good. We're in Minnesota now. Let's keep it rolling.
Kind of a fun part of the trip right here. We saw this glow at about 1:30 in the morning. We thought it was the Minneapolis skyline. Hurried up, grabbed the phone, take a photo. Nope, oil refinery. And we've arrived finally here in Ely. Arrived about 15 minutes early before our outfitter Voyager North opens to get our fishing license and everything else we need for the next couple days.
Beautiful fall lake, entry point 24. Swinging in here, you just swing into the left. That's the parking lot. We've got a little campground over here, and then we're going to be walking our portage wheels down there to Fall Lake. Getting in. Getting loaded up here at 24. Getting stuff situated. Should probably done a dry run. Make sure that we stay dry this time, but we'll figure it out. Maybe adjust if we need to. Things are going well. Alright, back to the USS John here. We're pretty close to taking on water there. Here at Newton Falls, coming up to our first portage. Probably about 25-30 minutes into the kayak trip here. See you after we get the wheels on.
Alright, here's a little bit closer look at the path that we took. Coming out of Fall Lake through the portage into Newton Lake. The portage is very wide, but it's also very long.
You can tell portaging's been fun. Big rock right there. Oh goodness, we stopped now. Keep it going. Okay. Yeah, you are. Stop.
Couple things to note, portage wheels are allowed on this section of the Boundary Water Trails. However, I do not recommend them. In fact, mine got returned as soon as I got back. If you look at the surface here, it is very gravelly, but you do have those buried big rocks, which were absolute nightmares. This is also the wider of the 2 portage trails.
Alright, and we've arrived. Other side here, doing pretty well. Spirits are high, wheels are crooked. Portage through, on to Newton, Pipestone portage next. Alright, moving across. We redistributed some weight here, took our food pack, moved it from underneath my feet there to in the back, and then swapped my sleep system to up there, and I think we got a little more clearance out, we got a little more confidence, so we'll see how she goes here. Let's keep trekking. Get a little fishing on here, see if we can get something. Come up to a little decision here. Traditional ways to go all the way around to the right there where he's kind of just in front of. We're going to try and sneak through here to the right. See if saves a little bit of time on. Still continuing on. This is Newton Lake. Around this bend, another 500 yards, and we'll be up to the portage for Pipestone Falls. See. Alright, we got an orange and black maps on there. Haven't had any luck on today. I feel like I might be fishing a little bit too big of a lure for what's up here, given my experience last time, but I'm going for the big boys here in the deep water. I think that's our portage, just ahead there, that little bare patch. Caden's been the Ricky Racer of the day, setting the pace, that's for sure. Let this drag set down, see if I can't choke myself with it. Hopefully we get a fish or two. Let's see. Alright, and this is coming up to Newton Falls, going into Pipestone yet again. Look what we got. We got a little, it looks to be a rock bass. I'll confirm that with old Caden up here, but not getting skunked anymore. We'll take that. Kind of bit it on trolling about 10 feet off. It's no surprise, but I'll show you here in a second. Little poke. Yeah, you went for that, didn't you? Man, you're hungry.
The second portage definitely sucked. Look at how narrow it is compared to the first one. One thing to note, if you go a little bit closer to the falls, there's actually a better trail that leads up to the main one and kind of wise off. Now, right about here is when we started getting into a little bit bigger water. We were loaded incredibly heavy, and I started taking on a little bit of water here and there with some waves. Pretty much we found the first campsite we saw, and we headed straight for it.
All right. You got this one or no?
Yeah, I got it. Is there a little light right here?
Yeah.
Alright, that's it. You had to pick a big rock, huh?
Heads up!
In the arms of the angel.
Recording that. Alright, you're up. You're up, bro.
Oh.
Night one meal, dinner. Got some mashed potatoes, ham, a little cheddar cheese in there. Got some rice over here. Best part. That's dang hot. Got a T-bone ready. Also got some water for some hot cocoa on. Gonna be good. Got a little cornbread here. He's up over the fire.
Oh,
Honey on it. It's for my little black bear.
Oh, gosh.
Alright, technically day number 2, or day number 1, I guess, out here. Breakfast, we got some Mountain House MREs, menu number 11. Scrambled eggs, bacon. That wasn't good enough here, so got some picnic bacon fried up. A little pepper jack chopped up over there, and we got some tortillas. Let's get it all put together with a little hot sauce.
Shortly after breakfast, we heard a large crash from the other island next to us with what sounded like paddling. Once we got over to it, we actually heard it get offshore and heard it dripping.
Come back me up. Yeah.
A couple things that we learned very quickly is just how out of shape we were, and number 2, just how heavy that we packed. This line drawn across the stream here that I call the fat guy equator. Probably, if you have a kayak, are not going to be getting past that point unless you take multiple kind of legs to get up north towards Lewis Narrows. So we decided mainly just to stay around that blue box and then kind of have day trips to the east and to the west.
Don't need anything else?
Wow. Alright, leaving the campsite. Heading up to Lewis Narrows today. Had an interesting morning, got breakfast made and had some breakfast burritos and heard a 911 call go out. Pulled up over there and sounds like the guy had some stomach pain or something, so best wishes for them on the portage out there on Cardiac Hill. Pike. Hey, Bubba. Alright, heading back to camp after a whole day of fishing here. Seems like, apparently I must have hit my limit, which is 1. Caught that pike earlier. That's it. Fish on right at the pull out. I got your net if you want it, unless you're gonna lip it. You want a net?
Nope. Oh, that's a good smallmouth.
Nice fish, man. Yeah, it's small. What are you, Bubba? He spit me? Oh, he spit me out, yeah.
On this day trip, we went up to Pipestone Falls.
This is Gnome's house. This is wild. Alright, here's an interesting point of view. Early June. Actually, June 1st to be exact. Pipestone Falls here. Obviously the downriver side, or downstream side, I suppose. There's a portage trail that goes right up over there. There's actually a decent amount of elevation that gets you up there. There's a couple lookout spots that are pretty nice little spots to stop for a second and hang out, but see how the fishing is over here.
The fishing was bad.
All these big, small.
There she is. I'm still on.
What is he?
Pike.
Packing up here on the very last day. I want to give you a little bit of a review here on the campsite 1608. It was an absolutely awesome campsite for us too. There's two main trails here, one that kind of goes around to the west of the island, and this is the main kind of latrine trail. It's about 100 feet back. There's a uncovered latrine in the middle of nothing. Alright, I'm just going to sprinkle this in there. I offered to net Caden on every single fish that trip, and he turned me down every single time. The one time he wants the net, it's behind my seat, and it's a monster. Let's see if he can land this fish. Hit the music.
I feel like Hulk Hogan. 3.6.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. I think this look on Caden's face says it all.
A lot?
We were doing pretty good until the very last portage. Then we hit Cardiac Hill. And let me tell you, there's a reason why they didn't name it Recliner Hill.
It's pretty much downtown Ely.
In conclusion, it was an absolutely phenomenal trip. We did take off a day early just due to a rainstorm that hit the night before and not a ton of motivation to spend that last day there. We'll say, we've talked kind of on the way back home, we've decided that if we ever do go past this blue line, we will be getting some sort of boat and motor to go up there to Basswood, because supposedly the fishing up there is phenomenal. Other than that, I thank you for checking out the video, and I hope that you check out some of our other videos, as we're going to be posting other stuff like this, as well as some other content here on Bell in the Back 40.